This sun and me today. Hi guys, welcome to the other part of the video. Hey, it's already getting dark again. Okay, so it's better. Welcome to the other part of the video. That one was already getting longer, so I decided to make it a separate video. So if you have not watched it, before you watch this video of me reading my letters to you, I think you should go and watch how to write it, so you know what method that I used. So if you're writing your motivation letter to campus friends, you don't need like lots. If you can see this well, you can see my letter is just from here to here, so it's really short. This is just like, these are just like the addresses that I didn't need eventually, because for campus friends you need to copy and paste your application letters. Oh my god, this video. Okay, I'm gonna shift, sorry, for today. Yeah, I think it's better now. Now it's better. For campus friends, you are going to copy and paste your letters like into like certain boxes. I think that's how it was last year. I don't know about this year. So even this length that I'm showing you from here to here, it was too much. So while I was copying and pasting, I had to remove the old address thing, and I had to close up some spaces so that there would be no spaces left. So the first one I'll be reading is lettre de motivation pour le master LEARCI. I don't even think I remember what LEARCI. I think normally LER is a very common masters in France for like language people. It's langue étrangère appliquée. That's LER. So there's master LER in like many universities in France. Sorry, this lightning is doing me bad. There's LER, and an RCI is like relation commerciale internationale. So langue étrangère appliquée, relation commerciale internationale. So if you are wondering what that means, langue étrangère appliquée, applied foreign languages, and relation commerciale internationale, international commercial relations. So this was for Université Jean Monnet, Saint-Étienne. I didn't get chosen. Oh my god. Okay, this is better. So I wasn't chosen for this program, but this was my motivation letter anyways. After my own address, the address, the objet, lettre de motivation pour le master LEARCI, mesdames et messieurs les responsables du master, récemment diplômé en FLE. FLE is français langue étrangère, so I put like a sign and I wrote dans une université de renom au Nigeria, l'université de Bafemi-Awolowo. J'ai l'honneur de vous soumettre par la présence ma candidature pour intégrer à la rentrée prochaine le master langue étrangère appliquée parcours relations commerciales internationales organisé par votre établissement. Au cours de mes études universitaires, j'ai pu bénéficier d'un cursus pluridisciplinaire sur la linguistique ainsi que sur les langues. J'ai aussi eu l'opportunité d'effectuer ma 3e année d'études au village français du Nigeria, où j'ai développé un grand intérêt pour le domaine du management interculturel et des affaires internationales. Entre mes 3e et 4e années, j'ai effectué un stage dans un pays francophone africain, la Côte d'Ivoire, pour améliorer mon niveau de français et pour renforcer mes connaissances dans les affaires internationales. De retour de ce formidable séjour, j'ai développé plus d'entrées dans les domaines de la linguistique et de la langue. Par ailleurs, après avoir lu tous les objectifs de ce programme, je pense que ce master correspond parfaitement à mon objectif de carrière professionnelle. Après mon master, je compte en effet participer à la coopération internationale, notamment en Europe et Afrique. Pour mettre en valeur mes atouts, je suis sérieuse, motivée, assidue, autonome et dynamique. Consciente de l'engagement qui nécessite cette formation, je suis prête de déterminer et m'investir dans cette formation. Je me tiens à votre disposition pour tout renseignement complémentaire. Vous trouverez mon curriculum vitae qui vous fournira des informations détaillées sur mon parcours et mobilité académique et professionnelle jusqu'à ce jour. Espérant que ma candidature répondra à votre attention, je vous prie de recevoir Madame, Monsieur, mes salutations respectueuses. And I wrote my name. So this was not like my best master's. Like, I mean, I don't really have like experience in like commercial international relations, but I mean, applied foreign languages is something that I studied foreign languages. So applied foreign languages is more like you are specializing in a field. I see people that studied French, they always say, oh, I don't want to do anything that has to do with French for my master's, but unfortunately you are stuck with it. So one thing you can do is to go for like langue étrangère appliquée. So applied foreign languages, it's all encompassing. It covers things that you can use foreign languages to do. Then you can then choose your niche. I have one of my friends in my campus that's she's Nigerian and she's currently running the master's. She's in her second year of langue étrangère appliquée. And she was able to explain to me what the master's actually entails and how it relates to, she studied French also, like I did, sorry. So basically, if you are thinking of, I don't want to do anything French, you can go for langue étrangère appliquée, because langue étrangère appliquée is like, you do a bit of IT, you do a bit of marketing, a bit of administrative work. So more like places you can apply foreign languages to, like what you can use foreign languages to do. So this one was already like Relations commerciales internationales, that's the parcours. Unlike if it's just LEA, like totally, you get to choose what you want to do later. So that's the first one. I didn't get chosen. I'll also be reading this one. Candidature pour le master linguistique, langue, corpus et traduction. University of Poitiers. It's masters in linguistics, languages, corpus and translation. Corpus is like a translation technology. And I was dying for technology for translation and interpreting. That was what I wanted. So I was looking for anything that had like corpus, that had tech and all. They didn't choose me as well. This was the first rejection I got. But I'm not saying that, because I'm telling you my CV, that is useless, like my motivation letter is useless because of that. No, I was just not, there were just more candidates that qualified more than I did. I don't know if that makes sense. So it doesn't mean that, because I have Nigerians that are doing LEA. So let me just go into the letter. Mesdames et messieurs. So basically I used kind of the same introduction that I used for this one. I used it here as well. Récemment diplômé en FLE dans une université de renom au Nigeria, l'université Obafemi Awolowo. J'ai l'honneur de vous soumettre par la présente ma candidature pour intégrer à la rentrée prochaine de master mention sciences du langage. Parcours linguistique, langue, corpus, blah blah blah, organisé par votre établissement. It was exactly the same introduction I used for. Maybe all, I'm going to find out, but these two so far, the same introduction. The body of the letter. Au cours de mes études universitaires, j'ai pu bénéficier d'un cursus pluridisciplinaire sur la linguistique ainsi que sur les langues. The same for these two. Ensuite, j'ai eu la chance d'effectuer ma 3e année d'études au village français du Nigeria, où j'ai approfondi mes connaissances dans les domaines de la linguistique et de la traduction. In this one, I said my 3e année d'études, j'ai développé un grand intérêt pour le domaine du management interculturel et des affaires internationales. That during my 3rd year of my university education, I was able to develop a big interest for intercultural management and international business or affairs. While this one, I said during my 3rd year, I changed the domain to linguistic and translation. So in my 3rd year, I was able to develop a big interest for linguistics and translation. De plus, entre mes 3e et 4e années, j'ai effectué un stage dans un pays francophone africain, la Côte d'Ivoire. I said that here also, pour améliorer mon niveau de français et pour renforcer mes connaissances en linguistique. So I said pour renforcer mes connaissances en linguistique, and here I said dans les affaires internationales. So I tried to like tweak it in order to favor the program. De retour de ce formidable séjour, j'ai pu développer plus d'intérêt pour les domaines de la linguistique et technologie de la langue. So, par ailleurs, après avoir lu tous les objectifs de ce programme, je pense que ce master correspond parfaitement à mon objectif de carrière professionnelle. Car après mon master, je compte travailler dans une corporation, the same thing I said for this one. Pour mettre en valeur mes atouts, je suis sérieuse, motivée, assidue, autonome et dynamique, consciente de l'engagement qui nécessite cette formation. Je suis prête à déterminer à m'investir de cette formation. Je me tiens à votre disposition pour tout renseignement complémentaire. Vous trouverez mon curriculum vitae qui vous fournira des informations détaillées sur mon parcours et mobilité académique et professionnelle jusqu'à ce jour. Basically the same thing. For these two letters, I just changed that. They didn't choose me anyway. Because actually, for the Campus France motivation letter, they ask for very short letter. Like, you cannot say too much. So, even all the points that I mentioned in this book, not all of it were used, like, were evident in these letters. But maybe when I read out the English letter that I use for my Erasmus scholarship application, and I mean, I have lots of motivation letters that I use for jobs, so I pick out points from this. So this one was for, that was University of Poitiers. This is Université de Lyon. All the universities I'm mentioning in this video, they were cheap. Like, all the universities apply masters for my first year was going to be 243 euros. So any university that I saw that was more than that, I didn't bother applying for it because I was not going to stress myself. So if you're looking for cheap universities, I've mentioned two already. This is Université de Lyon. Lettre de motivation pour le master langue, transmission et médiation interculturelle. Langue, transmission et médiation interculturelle. So if you look at it well, I didn't go too far from what, I'm sorry I'm bending so much. If I come here, it's like really dark. So I'm just going to change my position. So, as I was saying, I didn't go too far from my previous educational background, which was French. I studied French, a bit of German, and literature, things like that, French literature and everything. So I'm looking into things that have languages, transmission, médiation interculturelle. The same introduction, récemment diplômée en français, langue étrangère. I wrote these 6 motivation letters one night, like one midnight. I'd been researching before then, but I wrote everything one midnight. Au cours de mes études, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think this third one is exactly like those ones as well, but that was what I applied for. And this one is Université de Haute-Alsace, Mulhouse. It's in Strasbourg, but not University of Strasbourg. It's one of the departments, like in that Strasbourg region. Candidature pour le master langue étrangère appliquée, management interculturel et affaires internationales. So international, intercultural management and foreign affairs, something like that, international affairs, but it is applied foreign languages. So where you can apply foreign languages into, like how you can apply foreign languages into this field. But apparently my work experience has not, for these previous ones, my work experience, teaching assistant, teaching, translation, a bit of technology for translation and things like that. It doesn't have to do with intercultural management, and I didn't get chosen. I didn't actually want them. I just applied because I felt like if you apply to 6, 7, you stand more chances of getting chosen than applying to just 1 or 2 that you know that you want. So I already chose the 2 I wanted. These 2, you see that my application for my letter for them were different, and they are the 2 that I got chosen. While the remaining 4 that I kind of used the same like format for, I didn't get them. So, récemment diplômée du FLE dans une université de renom au Nigeria, j'ai l'honneur de vous soumettre par la présence ma candidature pour intégrer à la rentrée prochaine le master de bla 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 bla, the same thing. Au cours de mes études universitaires, basically the same thing, there was no difference. So this one, University of Lille, candidature pour le master en traduction et interprétation, parcours, métier du lexique et de la traduction. Récemment diplômée en FLE dans une université de renom au Nigeria, j'ai l'honneur de vous soumettre par la présente ma candidature pour intégrer à la rentrée prochaine le master traduction et interprétation, parcours métier de lexique et de la traduction. J'ai un fort intérêt pour ces matières et cet intérêt trouve son origine dans mes années au lycée. Lorsque j'ai commencé à apprendre le français, mon prof de français de l'époque a estimé que j'avais des forts potentiels pour devenir une grande traductrice. Et depuis ce jour-là, j'ai saisi toute l'opportunité pour m'améliorer et pour devenir plus compétente dans ce domaine. You can see that my introduction for this one is not what it has been. Mes formations précédentes m'ont apporté des connaissances théoriques nécessaires pour envisager d'étudier en Master 1 de traduction au sein de votre université. The next paragraph also is something I introduced that was not in the others. Because actually this was what I wanted. This was what I wanted. So this one was just like to fulfill all righteousness and to add to it. I might be lucky if I don't get the ones I want, I get that one. Everything that I had on my plan was like, I'm going to start a master's. So if I don't like it in the beginning, I'll develop interest in it as time goes on. Grâce à mes études et à certaines tâches extracurriculaires, telles que ma participation à des programmes d'échange et des conférences internationales, mais aussi grâce à mon travail en tant que traductrice indépendante comme indiqué dans mon curriculum vitae, j'ai pu acquérir des nouvelles connaissances des outils numériques en traduction comme des outils de TAO, comme SDL Trados, même sauce. Je me suis aussi formée dans des techniques et méthodologies modernes de traduction pour toutes les formes d'adaptation audiovisuelle, comme le doublage, le sous-titrage ou voice-over. Cette soif de connaissance m'a donné l'envie de relever de nouveaux défis. Par ailleurs, le développement de différents projets pendant mes études et quelques expériences professionnelles que j'ai pu faire m'ont formé à la prise de décision et au travail en équipe. De plus, le domaine de traduction et interprétation est un domaine qui me passionne, que je suis passionnée et dans lequel je souhaite continuer à me former davantage. Pour pouvoir partager mes connaissances avec d'autres étudiantes et mener à bien ma carrière professionnelle grâce à ce master constitue pour moi une forte source de motivation. Je vous remercie d'avance de l'intérêt que vous porterez à ma candidature et je me tiens à votre disposition pour tout entretien ou examen de sélection que vous jugerez utile à l'examen de mon dossier d'admission. Voyez arriver, blah blah blah. So basically, now that I think about it, this was it's in line with most of the things that I mentioned. Talked about how my previous experience, and I also told them that, as you can see in my CV, I talked about how my previous experiences, how they will be of good use to me, like how it relates to my future, and also this is University of Lille, so I'm not surprised I got chosen. And this one for University of Strasbourg, candidature pour le master traduction et interprétation parcours technologie des langues. So this is like pure tech. It is masters in translation and interpreting, but basically language technology is more like okay, that's not what this video is about. Let's just go into it. Mesdames et messieurs, les membres du jury d'admission, that's how I address them, like dear sir and ma. So it's more like like SARS and MAS, members of admission jury. Mesdames et messieurs, les membres du jury d'admission. So in case you are looking for an introduction, something like that. Récemment diplômé en FLE, bla 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 bla. J'ai un fort intérêt pour ce métier. So I kind of used the same letter for this Strasbourg and Lille because they were in the same field, masters in translation and interpreting, while others are masters in like applied foreign languages, the intercultural management, affairs, blah blah blah. So, and I got chosen for the ones I wanted. So I hope that these ones have helped you. I don't know if I'm going to read to you my my English Erasmus application motivation letter word for word. So even though I speak English, after writing this motivation letter, I reached out to people that would help me to correct it. I actually applied for European Masters in Technology for Translation and Interpreting. So I was really passionate about technology for translation and interpreting. But you know what? Many things happen like for our good. I'm happy I didn't get it because now I realize that I'm not actually interested in it. I realized when I went for my internship. My internship opened my mind to actually see beyond what I was seeing on the paper. It actually made me know what I was interested in. Do you understand? Because I wanted this technology for translation and interpreting because I thought it was going to have to do with maybe I would learn how, basically the masters was designed for, people that already have foreign language experience. It's a master's in translation and interpreting, but what the master's is focused on is like technology for translation and interpreting. So the technology part of it was supposed to be like, how to develop websites, how to create all these translation apps and things that we see online. What are the things that went into place to make those things come to life? So I was like, that looks interesting. Instead of just being a translator that you sit down and then be translating books and things like that, you're actually developing translation apps and things. So that's going into corpus linguistics and all those things I was mentioning earlier. So I was really interested in it. But my application was really nice and I commend myself for that if no one commends me. So, dear evaluation committee, it is with utmost enthusiasm that I write this letter to express my profound interest in the European Masters in Technology for Translation and Interpreting. The objectives of this program strongly appeal to me and resonate with my future career goals. So that was my introduction. I mean, if you see this letter, you want to read more. When you see something like this, you don't even know what the story is about, but you want to see. Means that I already read the objectives and I knew that they resonate with me, like it speaks well to me. To start with, before the commencement of my university studies, it had always been my dream to have a career in translation and interpretation field. My interest in this field can be traced back to my senior secondary school year, where I started learning French. On a fateful day, during the French lesson, after translating a very difficult sentence, which my French teacher thought was impossible for any of us to translate, given our little knowledge of French, he looked me in the eyes and told me, I quote, "You are going to be a great translator and interpreter someday. I can see it in you, believe me." However, little did he know that those pure words of his sparked up a fire in me that day, because from that moment, I knew what I wanted to do in life, and thus I challenged myself every day to get there, and the fire still burns deep within me. So I'm not saying you should look for like a story or a scenario that is not real and go and form something because people can be very funny. Like I've read some motivation letters that I was really, really cracked up. Like it was funny. Like, okay, if this guy is going to come for masters in comedy, just admit him already. So some people go to the extent of looking for stories that are not true just to think, but this is something that's actually true to me. That is where my interest came in from. I didn't just see French and choose to study French 4 years or 5 years of my life. Something built that interest in me. So, and at that point of my life, I was in a point where I was in like SS1 or 2, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Everyone knew they wanted to be doctors or architects or whatever, and I was still very confused. So he's saying that actually built up something in me that I could not contain, and I kept pursuing that. I was promoted to science class in my school, and I had to change that. I have to go back to art class because I feel like I'll be able to study French, foreign languages. So it has been something in me. Now, my next paragraph. So you can see that I'm carrying them along. They want to see what's next. It's not just everywhere. And I'm not reciting my CV that I started French. I'm not reciting my CV. I'm telling them something that makes them want to read the next paragraph. Furthermore, my interest in this career path, sorry, I'm reading from my laptop, so if I'm looking down, my interest in this career path heightened during my 3rd year of university studies, called the year abroad, in quotes. So basically, they've seen my CV, they know what I studied. So my 3rd year in university called the year abroad. Mine took place at the Nigerian French language village, after which I traveled to a French-speaking African country, Ivory Coast, for a 3-month exchange program in order to get a hang on French language, which I knew was the foundation of my translation and interpreting career. I tell them why I went, because I knew I was not good in French yet, and I needed to get that because I already knew my dream was this, so I needed to know what you need the tool for that dream to come to pass. Then there in Ivory Coast, I realized that most of the popular television shows we watch back in my country, Nigeria, also existed, but they had been synced into French language perfectly. Then I became curious about which properties made that possible, and I got to know the term called dubbing. Although I knew synchronization existed, I never really thought about what properties made that possible, nor if it had to do with translation technology until that year in Ivory Coast. I further researched and got deeply interested in translation and interpreting technologies, machine translation techniques, speech-to-text recognition, and more. As a result, I decided on this as a part to take later in my higher studies. So basically, this is just me telling them why the program. So, I talked about how the program, I talked about few points in my previous video. If you've not watched that video, it will be linked somewhere up here. So this is why the program, something was sparked up in me. In my 3rd year, another one sparked up. Now, going on, to be concise, I wouldn't boast of having highly sophisticated experience with the use of technology in translation and interpreting, but as part of my personal and professional development, my freelance and voluntary translation jobs have helped me to understand that being a translation has gone beyond effective communication skills, but also about being up to date with technologies used. Basically, we cannot deny the fact that we now live in a world where brain power, as in artificial intelligence, is replacing manpower with every new invention, and we as translators are not left out. We have to evolve and move with the pace. In this light, I have invested my time and money into taking several online courses ranging from machine translation to programming, machine learning, and more in the translation technology field. This answers the question, what have you been doing? I want you to be prepared to give me scholarship. I want you to give me this. What have you done? And how has that thing, how is it going to be of benefit? So me now, personally, I've used my time, I've used my money to do this. I'm not just basically blank about the program. I knew it was a highly tech program, even though it says Masters in Translation and Interpreting French, English, and one more other language. Mine was French, English, and German. But still, it was tech. I knew that this was what I wanted, so I already took my time and my money to do those things in advance. So that answers that question. Similarly, I've had the golden chance to attend various multicultural and social exchange programs, seminars, and conferences across Europe and the United Kingdom, from where I have learned so much about translation, interpreting, and technology. And all these programs and things like that were listed in my CV, so they can see already. So I'm not mentioning it that I attended so program. It's just adding unnecessary space to your motivation letter. So it was already in my CV. They would see the ones that are for Europe, they'll see the ones that are United Kingdom, the conferences, the seminars, how they relate. They will be able to think about that. To sum up, I chose this program, European Masters, because you have to tell them why the program. I chose this program, European Masters in Technology for Translation and Interpreting, because I want to gain skills and knowledge to be a translation and or interpretation specialist that fits into the world of today. In like manner, this program will give me an opportunity to meet and learn from great experts in the field, as well as connects me with like-minded people from several parts of the world. Specifically, my research interest lies in translation and interpreting technologies, automatic speech recognition, machine translation, post-editing, CAT tools, and subtitling. So these are tech things in the translation and interpreting world that you might not know if you've not been researching on that. So So the next paragraph, I talked about why I chose, okay, for if you are not familiar with Erasmus scholarship, you might not know this point. So this one is for the program I was choosing, there were 4 countries involved: UK, a university in UK, a university in Spain, a university in Belgium, and a university in Bulgaria. So basically, in our application, we were told that you have to specify, you choose only 2 schools where you're going to do your 2 years, 1 year in each. So you choose 2 schools and explain why you chose those schools. So to explain why I chose those schools, I already went to the website of the program for those 2 schools I wanted, and I already saw what they were going to do, like what semester 1 is going to be about, what semester 2 is going to be about for the 4 schools. So I made my choice. So here I'm just defending it. Personally, I chose universities of Wolverhampton and Malaga, University of Wolverhampton, University of Malaga, because I would like to focus on the combination of translation technology as well as the theoretical aspects of translation and interpretation. Given that after a careful study of the list of modules are like the program outline, I believe that the combined skills from these universities will equip me with the valuable knowledge I need in my future career path. Nevertheless, at the University of Wolverhampton, I hope to get more familiar with programming languages, Python, corpus linguistics with R, and gain more knowledge of machine translation as I have only basic knowledge of this, thanks to the online courses and seminar series organized by experts in the field. On the other hand, for the University of Malaga, I look forward to most of the modules, especially interpreting technologies, translation and interpreting as cultural mediation, theoretical approaches to translation studies, and computer tools for translators. Last but not the least, working as a freelance translator has helped me to build my research skills, as I sometimes have to translate documents in which I'm not familiar with, like legal papers, health documents, which usually involve several acronyms that even machine translation applications are not familiar with. Hence the necessity for research. In addition to that, my final year undergraduate thesis was a research work based on the bloody Ugandan genocide of 1994. While working on this, I came across video clips of testimonies from survivors and reporters that were not originally written in French. Even so, I was able to use translation techniques to relate this message. Thus, I can justify that I have a good ability to conduct effective research work. This paragraph was designed for justifying my knowledge of publications or research. I don't have any publications, but this alone stands well that I have experience in that field. And the last paragraph, finally, I'm interested in the Erasmus Mundus scholarship because you have one application for school and scholarship as well. I'm interested in the Erasmus Mundus scholarship for the European EMTTI program because coming from a developing country, Nigeria, and from a middle-class family, I could never be able to afford the fees for this program. To sum up, I have a great personality, a great attitude to work, I am intelligent, I am a go-getter, and I believe I will also make significant contributions to this program as well, and I'll be a great addition to your team of future professional translators, interpreters, and developers. I look forward to working closely with all my prospective lecturers, especially, then I mentioned some of the lecturers that I saw on the website. Yours sincerely, and I wrote my name. I mean, my motivation letter was good. It was good. It's just that they already had lots, maybe enough people that even surpassed that, or some programs, they just want 12 people to give scholarship. Personally, I'm not caught up for loans, caught up for, feeding hand to mouth and going to school. I told myself if I would rather be a self-funded student, I'll be a self-funded student in France because it is doable. It is doable in France. I'm going to make a video very soon to tell you how life has been as an international student in France without scholarship, how I get free food, free clothes, free benefits, free money from different sources. So it is doable in France. You can actually work 20 hours a week and afford to pay your bed rent, afford to feed yourself, school fees paid off from your ATM card, everything is okay. I'm not preaching France that, oh, everybody come to France. No, I'm not making publicity for them. I'm just saying why I made my decisions, because if someone else got the opportunity I got to come as a self-funded student, the school fees was, I think, 9,000 something pounds per year. There are people who get more offers, like offers that the school fees like are more expensive than that, and they take it and start looking for money. I decided I was not going to go through with that. Even if I didn't get admission to French universities, I wasn't going to go through with that. If I don't get scholarship outside France, I'd rather be a self-funded student inside France. So I hope that these videos, I've just look out for that video, and if I don't make that video on time, please do well to bombard me with questions in the comment section, or do well to remind me that please make that video about France, advantages of studying in France, or things like that, benefits or life of an international student without scholarship in France, how it has been and everything. But I'll make it one time soon. Anyways, we have come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Give this video a big thumbs up. Many people watch my videos, but they never give the video a thumbs up. I mean, you're watching this video for free, basically for free. These things I just read to you for free and all would be monetized by someone else. Like, you have to pay for it to join a conference or to get like an e-copy of it, and you're getting these things for free. So I think that it's not too bad, it's not too much to ask that you should give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel, just to help the channel grow, because when you subscribe, YouTube takes that opportunity to spread the video to more people, so I get more people watching my videos. And if one day they want to monetize me, I would also get like more views. So if you feel led to, please share this video with your friends, share it with people that you know that they're currently they're trying to do their application, they're at the application stage. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.